I'm going to go through a couple of housekeeping things before getting started and turning it over to the fabulous Miss Rashonda Shoulders. People have asked me about Commissioner Samuel's PowerPoint. We do have the PowerPoint. We are going to be posting it on the NRCA website along with the plenary. However, if you want to get it before you go home because you just like want it now, that lady back there in the brown, wave your hand, Ingrid Vanna. She's the one that has it, and you guys have your flash drives. Let us know, and we can kind of load it on your flash drives for you. If you wanted it now, if you wanted to take it home. I know a couple people wanted it to use with their administration, so we can get it to you instant gratification, okay? All right, so now I'm going to give the mic over.
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Natalie is such a hard act to follow, and then I'm not going to stand before you long because I know you all are ready for the new unveiling of AdoptUskids branding and website. You know, it was talked about yesterday when they did the campaign ad. So again, it's also difficult being up here because I'm about to introduce two fabulous people, but definitely Miss Kathy Ledesma, who is a true diva in her own right, from the top of her head down to her feet. And the reason why I have to say her feet, because I'm always, what shoes do you have on today? Let me check it out. Nobody can do it like Kathy can. So let me make it quick. Ms. Kathy Ledesma, since 2008, has been the National Project Director for AdoptUskids, which is administered by the Adoption Exchange Association through a cooperative agreement with the Children's Bureau, which is where I work. And she previously worked for 20 years for the child welfare system in Oregon. And then when she was there, they loaned her to the Children's Bureau. And honestly, she's still there, even though she thinks she's not. Her presence is there all the time. Then she has also served as the president of the National Association for State Adoption Program Manager, and she received her master's degree in social work from Portland State University. Also sitting next to her is Ms. Helen Owens. She is the director of electronic media at AdoptUskids. She has been designing websites. You want me to say how long? Okay. Without her, you may not see these fabulous things that are going on now for AdoptUskids, but she's very passionate about what she does, being a website designer and emerging technology with what you're about to see. So Ms. Owens joins the team that pioneered the e-commerce at Amazon.com as their first design director. I mean, that is huge. Over the past 9 years at AdoptUskids, she has led a team in ongoing development and enhancement of the website photos, photo listing, functionality, the resource knowledge base for families and professionals, and expanding presence in social media. So I'm going to turn it over to them because I know you all cannot wait to see this new website. Great. Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Rashonda. And I always say if you wear good shoes, it'll make up for a lack of personal substance. So, people won't notice that you don't have anything meaningful to say. This is a week of premieres for adoption. And yesterday you saw the new ad campaign, and we hope that you'll take that home and share it with folks. Today we have a premiere of 2 additional things. We're going to take about 3 minutes to see the short version of our new informational video that really is a real succinct explanation of what it is that we do. There's a longer version. You all got that in your packets. I'm not sure which bag it was in, but you all got that. The longer version that has some of the state managers speaking on it. We're going to take a look at that one tomorrow with the adoption and foster care managers. But this is the short version, so instead of me telling you who we are and what we do, this is going to tell you.
AdoptUskids has 2 main goals: to raise public awareness about the need for foster and adoptive families for children in the U.S. public child welfare system, and to assist U.S. states, territories, and tribes to recruit and retain foster and adoptive families and connect them with children. Each year since 2003, the Children's Bureau, in collaboration with the Advertising Council and AdoptUskids, has produced TV, radio, and print campaigns. They raise public awareness about the need for families, and they encourage prospective foster and adoptive parents to contact AdoptUskids. English language campaigns use the tagline, "You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent." The call to action in the campaigns in Spanish is to change the life of a child, change your own. AdoptUskids staff responds to more than 25,000 phone calls and emails from interested families each year and connects them with services in their own states. The majority of AdoptUskids training and technical assistance to states, territories, and tribes is delivered by the National Resource Center for Recruitment and Retention of Foster and Adoptive Parents at AdoptUskids. AdoptUskids has two websites, adoptuskids.org in English and a more limited site, adopteuno.org in Spanish. Use of social media such as Facebook and Twitter helps engage families and professionals. The websites help maintain a national adoption and foster care information exchange system that helps locate and recruit prospective adoptive parents for the adoption of children from foster care. It helps make connections between the public and private agencies to help achieve these adoptions within and across county and state lines. Caseworkers for waiting children can use AdoptUskids' database of thousands of home study approved families to find the best matches for the children's individual needs. Research conducted by AdoptUskids between 2003 and 2008 pointed to respite care, or time out from parenting, as one of the greatest needs identified by families. To help jurisdictions to respond to this need, AdoptUskids provides mini demonstration grants to parent support groups. In partnership with their public child welfare agencies, these groups design and administer community-specific respite program models. AdoptUskids is dedicated to continuously improve its own services and the services it provides to states, territories, tribes, and families. Therefore, each of its activities undergoes thorough evaluation. AdoptUskids uses evaluation findings to build knowledge and identify best practice strategies to improve outcomes for children and families. As you can see, AdoptUskids offers a rich resource of tools, products, and services. It helps increase the number and timeliness of adoptions from U.S. foster care through expanding the pool of qualified and prepared foster, adoptive, and kinship care families.
While we're going back to the PowerPoint, if the rest of the folks who are here from AdoptUskids could just stand up so you could see some of the rest of our team. Great, great. When at the time, in 2002, AdoptUskids' first website was premiered in 2002 at a meeting just like this. Was anybody here at that meeting when we premiered that? Oh, Jane Morgan was. And kind of what happened there is the switch went on, but the light did not. And we were really afraid that we were going to embarrass ourselves by having that happen again. So you are going to be introduced to the website today. And later this month, it will be live. You're going to have an exploration site that you can go to that Helen will talk about. But we were really afraid that if we introduced you to it today, first of all, it might misfire. And second of all, we would really love it if you all went out and got on it one time, and that would crash it. So, so we didn't want to do that. But what you are going to see and hear about is the 2 years of intensive planning we did around the rebranding. So I want to rename our presentation, not launching of our new brand and website, but rather Sleepless in Seattle. Helen leads our team in Seattle who literally have not slept for the last 6 months as we've gotten ready to get this going. And who better to lead this effort than Helen, who was, as you heard in the introduction, the design director at Amazon.com. And so we have the best of the best. And what you will see here is work we did collaboratively with the Children's Bureau to create a new brand that is more responsive to all of our customers.
Over the past 2 years, as I think Kathy has mentioned, we've worked really hard to define and develop a new brand for AdoptUskids and apply it to all of our communications tools, not just the website, but all of our print, the voice that we use when we answer the phone, training, and just all of the materials that we use to communicate with all of our communities of interest. And in the process of defining, in the process of defining this new brand, I realized that it must be a lot like the research that you do when you're writing an autobiography. There was a lot of soul searching about who AdoptUskids is. What are the things that have influenced us along the way to make us who we are? And then also, we went out and interviewed all of the people that are our friends and family to get a different perspective, an outside perspective on who we are to everybody else. Today is an exciting and sort of an apprehensive day for us as we open the pages to our autobiography to you, our first reviewers. Of course, the first question that you might be asking is, what's wrong with the old one? Why don't we just stick with what we have? And our current brand has served us really well over the last 9 years. But it is dated, and it no longer really represents the person that AdoptUskids has matured into. The other question would be, why do we want to redesign the website? And as you all know from your personal experience in life, technology changes really quickly. And as it has with lots of web features, and we wanted to be able to bring features and interaction with the site and tools to you that make the end user experience better. So we've listened to our audience as they have told us what their needs and wants are, and we're building a lot of these into the new website. We have also, over the years, as a result of our NRC, developed just a really rich resource of information and tools for all of you around recruitment and retention. And that information was getting lost on the current website. The structure of the site just really wasn't robust enough to make it easy for you to find that information. And so the redesign of the site is really going to help make that easier for you to find. Also, in the last 2 years, we have really entered the social media realm, and our Facebook pages are being used by families and professionals to share their experience and knowledge and to build a mutual trust between families and professionals. And access to Facebook and Twitter and YouTube will be built into the site. And we're really developing a circular community. People on Facebook are going to the website and vice versa. And it's pretty exciting what's happening. So what is brand anyway? Brand for a company or an organization is much like the reputation that you build yourself as a person. So you earn your reputation over time by the way that you interact with the people around you. AdoptUskids has built and enhanced our reputation over the past 9 years, and we want to reflect that reputation in our communication with our audience. So the question really is, what should our reputation be? And to figure that out, the AdoptUskids partners gathered for a 2-day branding, business, and customer goals workshop. The brand visual that you'll be seeing today is built on the work that we did at that workshop and on a wealth of research from surveys, audience testing, institutional knowledge of our partners, and statistics from our database and from web analytics. So it's not just developed from who we think we are, but from all of the research into our autobiography. The visual design is rooted in values of guidance, support, advocacy, empathy, dedication, and hope. And brand is more than a visual design. Brand is reinforced in the voice that we use in our messaging, and that's a voice that's straightforward while remaining uplifting and passionate about adoption and children in foster care. These are the values that AdoptUskids defined as the reputation that we will continue to build in the future. So in order to build this reputation, based on the services that our audience wants and needs, we needed to really define who our audience is, to really understand who it is that we are serving and what their needs and wants are. So in order to accomplish this, we developed profiles of all of our audience. And these are called persona. A persona represents a group of people who share a common behavior or interest and a common motivation. Persona lets us gain a really detailed understanding of our typical customer and what their needs and their wants are. So these are the faces of the states, tribes, territories, and families that we serve. Each profile represents a person who comes to our site for a specific need, to have a question answered, or they have some notion of wanting to discover something about foster care or adoption. These people who are our audience, our customers, and our community of mutual interest are the people we think of every day when we write a headline, plan a training, and answer the phone. Brand extends to every interaction that we have with the world, and it is the reputation that we build for ourselves over time. This is a fully fleshed out persona, and this is Wendy and We're Waiting. And they are a family that are home studied, they're registered on the site, and they've inquired on children, and now they're waiting. And we've found through research and through our statistics that this is when we often lose families, and that it's really important that we provide resources and support for them during this time, which they find can find as an interminable waiting time. So when we develop services, when we develop features and articles, and when we do communication on Facebook, we think specifically about Wendy and We're Waiting and what we need to do to fill their needs and their wants. And we have a fully fleshed out profile like this for every single one of our persona. There are many elements that are involved in developing a consistent personality for our brand. And we began by defining a color palette and a tone and visual imagery for what we thought AdoptUskids should be communicating. In order to do that, we assembled a collage of images and colors and fonts. And what we wanted to show was a warmth, passionate, and authentic feel. The photography is candid, uplifting, and emotional, and it features real children and real families. From these basics, we developed an official AdoptUskids style guide that defines words and grammar and style. So it's not just visual, it's carried through in the voice of everything that we use to express ourselves. Our brand identity research also showed through talking with our audience that we didn't want to make a huge change to our visual identity, that there is something to be said for continuity, something to be said for recognition, And so what we are calling our redesign really is a refresh as opposed to a complete redesign. You've seen glimpses of our new brand over the last few days, and here it is on the big screen. The graphic and fonts have been softened and made more welcoming. The colors are chosen for overall approachability and a general soothing and calming effect. We know that many of our audience are apprehensive and overwhelmed and anxious about the whole foster and adoption experience, and we wanted them to feel welcomed, and we feel that the color palette and the image that we've projected will help give that feeling. So we feel that we carried through into that brand, those images that we assembled and that feeling that we were talking about. The next step that we had was to develop a tagline for our brand. You can think of things like, just do it, we try harder, or if you're as old as I am, you might remember plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. You can probably remember who these taglines go with. So taglines can enhance the value and the relevance of your brand. When the partners got together to brainstorm about this tagline, a recurring theme was how AdoptUskids' mission is really only accomplished by a community of people. It isn't just us. The website is just a tool that's used by all of you in order to accomplish your work. And so when we sat down to think about the tagline, we thought about how important it was to really say our mission is accomplished through a whole community of people that have similar interests. So our tagline became, "Together we hold their future." So AdoptUskids, together we hold their future. I think it's pretty strong. I like it. And then we also had to carry through the elements of our brand into all of our visual imagery and into the redesign of the website. So here's our home page. And this is just a static image, and if you'll be patient with me for just a minute, I will pull up the website. And this is currently on a public page that you can go to. If you go to AdoptUskids.org and put :8020, you will go to the site and you can spend some time looking around on it. And also, if you go to the desk outside, they'll give you the URL that you can go to. So this is the way that you will be greeted when you come to our website. We have reorganized the content to bring things further to the top. Things like the navigation now have fly-down navigation so that you can more easily get to information that you need. Families coming to the site can immediately find who can foster and adopt. How do I adopt? How do I foster? And all of these areas of content we've come up with as a result of working with our audience and asking them what is the information that you need and you want. And these address the different persona, again, of those people, including things like post-adoption resources, so that we're really hitting the whole range of our persona. And then we have a section now, excuse me, called For Professionals, also that brings a lot of this really rich content that's been developed for you right up to the forefront. So recruitment and retention resources, free consulting services, you can get to registration for your organization right from the home page, and more. And then Join the Conversation is the area where we're going to be featuring our social media and talking about a whole nother community of interest, the persona of the people who maybe don't really know what their relationship to foster care and adoption is. And Michelle Dobbins talked about this morning. There are people who would like to know how they can get involved in foster care and adoption, even if maybe they aren't going to foster or adopt themselves. And so we'll have an area on the site to help them learn what they can do in their community to help. And then, of course, for the public, there's always Meet the Children, and this is where the public comes to get their first introduction to the children on the site. They can search by the number of children, by the age of children, and maybe I'll just put in age for the group that our new campaign is going to be looking at. The public search is a little bit more abbreviated than the search that families can do and professionals can do when they're logged in. It really is an introduction to the children in care. We've brought information that's the most important to the top. The images have been made bigger. And when, oops, I'm left-handed and I always do this backwards. You can go through individual images of siblings so that it's just a lot easier to view. And then there's also the full profile for the public here. How are we doing on time? Okay. There is, I'll just quickly log in. As a professional, I think, if I, and you will be able to, if you have an account on AdoptUskids right now, you'll be able to log in and look at your cases. But I want you to, oh, well, I guess they updated something here. Oh, did I? Okay. Oh, I did. Okay. Thank you. Okay. This is going to be a little different because my access, this is my account and my access is different. But if you do have an account on AdoptUskids, you can go in and see what you can do with your new cases. Don't expect that to be on the real live database though. So don't manage you can mess around and manage your cases, but know that you'll also have to go to the current live site to do that. So I'm running over time, and I hope that you will go in. The other thing we would love to do, if you would like to be an end user tester, leave your email address at our table out there, and we would love to have you tell us what you think about the site. Yes.
While Helen's going back to the slide for us, I just want to point out, she used only one example of the personas, but I want to point out who the professional personas are, because you are characterized here, everybody here is characterized here, and we created profiles about how old you are, how adept you are at using websites, what your knowledge is about, for very young caseworkers who this might be their first experience, So these professional personas are Wanda Wondering Worker, who I would love a free and easy to use resource for recruiting families. Carmen Caseworker, the last thing I need is more busy work. That's going to slow me down. So quick access to information. Chad Child Worker, how do I know families are interested in the kids I'm photo listing? It really shows him how he can go into the site and respond to families who are inquiring. Fernando, family worker, how do I keep my waiting families? Some retention things. Sally, supervisor, I wish there were some magical strategies to help my staff find good families for our kids. They're there. Adele, administrator, what NRC do I contact for training and technical assistance? There seems to be 3 that apply. So there's a whole section on that. And then Paul, program manager, I need to recruit foster families. So those are the professional personas that we really rebuilt this site to address your needs, not just the family needs, but really your needs as professionals. So, Melody, so on Friday we're going to talk a little bit more with foster care and adoption managers about how to navigate the new site, because you're a big part of our audience out there. And then on October 27th, we have a webinar, the National Adoption Month webinar that you all got a flyer for, and we're going to do a little bit more on the website, and real close to that time, it will be available for the public.